Barbie and I are really honored to be representing this year's Funda Treatment Initiative. Funda Treatment is Easterseals' signature program dedicated to raising awareness and funds exclusively for the purpose of developing educational and real-life schooling programs, as well as developing and providing long-term and short-term rehabilitation services for individuals who are affected with various types of neurological impairments. Funda Treatment Resources provides state-of-the-art equipment and facilities staffed with trained professional therapists who address specific challenges and administer proper and necessary rehabilitative services. These therapists also offer the emotional support and encouragement needed to help their patients achieve their full potential and lead healthy and happier lives, and confident and productive members in their communities.
Good evening. I've been involved with Easterseals for the past 3 years, and during this time, Ken and I have become increasingly more familiar and impressed with the comprehensive neuropsychological treatment programs made possible through Funda Treatment. We never imagined brain cancer would invite itself into our family's home and lives, but it did. As we tried to digest the news and come to terms with our son's shocking prognosis and uncertain future, we began to prepare ourselves to make certain we could provide him with the medical, emotional, and financial support he would need to reclaim his life, and we were very fortunate to be able to do so. There are families, just like any of ours here tonight, who also experience sudden, serious neurological illnesses or injuries, only to discover that they are unable to provide their loved one with the same necessary support our son needed. And this is why Easterseals and Funda Treatment are so important.
When one of our patients comes to Easterseals, they work with a variety of clinicians and therapists to have their needs met. A person might first work with our neuropsychologists who do comprehensive testing to find out how their brain is working, what are their strengths and weaknesses. And once a diagnosis is arrived at, they may see our speech and language therapist, our physical therapist, our occupational therapist, or even our psychologist for some counseling. And once they have these areas being addressed by our therapist, they can help to meet their needs and re-enter to the best of their lives and to be successful.
I ended up coming to Easterseals because I had a traumatic brain injury and I needed physical therapy, occupational therapy, cognitive therapy, and psychological therapy.
When I first met Anne-Marie, she was talking about a lot of functional difficulties she was having in her life, specifically relating to organization, memory, and auditory comprehension. And the nice thing about working at a place like Easterseals in an outpatient facility is that we can really address things functionally and make it tailor-made for her life. And so in terms of auditory comprehension and memory, we built around her favorite TV show, which was Game of Thrones, together.
I think that more people need to know about Easterseals because they have changed my life for the better. I don't know where I would be today without them. I mean, like I said, I'm driving, I'm cooking, I'm helping my daughter through college. My life's not 100% complete, but from where I was 3 years ago, it's amazing. It's amazing. I'd be lost without them.
It was that phone call that every parent dreads, 4 o'clock in the morning, and it was Kevin's fiance, and she was very rattled, and she just said, oh, something's wrong with Kevin, he's having a seizure, and they're taking him to the hospital right now.
We realized it was a very grave situation. We could just tell from the tone of Lauren's voice.
His fiance, we knew.
And when we got to the hospital and we saw Kevin and met with the doctors, That's when we found out just how serious this whole thing was. And it was devastating.
Just kept thinking, no, wait, what? A tumor? What do you mean, a tumor?
He had actually 2 surgeries. That they went in and performed the first surgery. After they did some tests, they realized this is a little bit more aggressive. Turned out to be a type 3 cancer.
Anaplastic astrocytoma 3.
Yes, it's quite a mouthful.
It is.
But it's an aggressive form of brain cancer. So they needed to go back in and do a second surgery.
That's why we don't know when we say the future. He could very well use a facility, a rehabilitation facility, and they have such great programs, and it's all neuropsychology, based, and so there's a lot of experience and expertise here.
It's really important that people support Easterseals and fund treatment, because these programs, they require some funding. It doesn't appear magically.
Funded treatment is exactly that. It's fund a treatment. It's not utilized for administrative costs or overhead. It is used specifically for the neuropsychology, the equipment that's used for the rehabilitation, many therapy programs that are in place, and so much more.
Good evening. I'm Kevin Kasner, and I'm very happy to be standing up here in front of you all tonight. It was a pretty surreal moment when I received the news that my tumor was actually a stage 3 brain cancer. It was just my first week of my second year of medical school, and I was wondering about a lot of things. Would I be able to continue medical school? Even if I could, would I live long enough for it to be worth it? Would I still be able to live independently? Would I lose the love of my life, who had just uprooted her life, left Connecticut, and came down and moved in with me? And would I still be myself after all of these procedures and treatments scheduled to be performed on my brain? There were a lot of decisions to be made concerning my future. What was the right thing for me? What was the right thing for the ones that I loved? I felt overwhelmed by it all, and there were many times that I felt like just giving up. That seemed like it could be the better option. But it turns out that I'm a pretty fortunate guy. And I had the care and support from my fiance, my friends, and my family. And I was given hope and stability during an otherwise hopeless time in my life. So I came through the 2 surgeries. I went through the 9 months of radiation and chemotherapy, and I was very lucky to have very little to no permanent damage or impairment. And the fears that I had at the time of my diagnosis, thankfully, did not become a reality. But I realized if I did not receive the medical, emotional, and financial support that I needed, my recovery could have been very different. I too may have needed the same type of rehabilitative and supportive programs provided by Easterseals. So here I am, just a few weeks away from completing my 3rd year of medical school at Stony Brook School of Medicine. And I'm eagerly looking forward to my 4th and final year. But as a medical student, I've become increasingly aware of the number of individuals living with neurological illnesses, injuries, and disabilities. It's dispiriting to witnessing so many of these patients and their families try and reach their goals without access to the same support and resources that I have and that they need, which makes it difficult or impossible for them to experience an outcome as fortunate as my own. Funded treatment makes that possible. With their remarkable programs and services, they provide to these deserving individuals the support and rehabilitation that they need. Because of the people in this room, countless men, women, and children living with neurological disabilities and special needs, as well as their families, will have their hopes fulfilled and their prayers answered. I'd like to thank you all for being here tonight and supporting these crucial programs and for being directly responsible for keeping hope alive.
So, before we start raising our paddles tonight, I just want to quickly remind you that 100% of all of the generous donations that you make tonight are going to go directly and exclusively to funded treatment.
We ask that you please help Easterseals continue to provide the best programs possible to help those who struggle to overcome the overwhelming obstacles and challenges they encounter every single day. Thank you.
We have a small token of our appreciation for your involvement as funded treatment chairs. This is a message from the Senator Blumenthal, as well as we hope you'll display this proudly and thank you so much for your efforts.